Hello, it's Miss Erskine. This week's work is based on the Aztecs, and before we start we're going to have to find out a little bit about them. This is a picture of an Aztec port near the Aztec city. If you look really carefully, you can see the market and you can see the huge buildings. You can also see a gentleman in the front in traditional Aztec dress. The Aztecs were an empire of people who lived in Central America over 500 years ago. This page gives you some websites to look at. I recommend that you look at a few of them, maybe at least 3, so that you can gain some information. It might be an idea to make some notes while you're looking at them. If you're going to make notes of things that you think are interesting, or things you might think have to do with food and markets. You're going to write a story about going to the market yourself and selling your goods there. So we need to think first of all. Remember, when you're planning a story, to always use the 5 W's. Where, when, who, why, what. Use the notes below to help you. Remember, when you're writing, the thinking and the planning beforehand is actually the most important part. So here are some questions to help you. I would suggest you try to answer all of these questions on a piece of paper. If you haven't got any answers, then you need to have another think, and maybe you need to have another look at the websites. But if you've got all this information, it will make writing your story so much easier. Remember, you're writing a story about going to the market. There are a few things to remember, so just have a read through of this. All the normal things, like punctuation, describing words. Make it so that your reader can imagine and make a picture in their head of where you are and what you're doing. Also, as I said, the most important thing is you are writing a story as if you are there, so it needs to be in the first person. That means I did this, after I did that, when I did that, always I. Now this part's the editing. This is the really important part, because sometimes when you write a story, you write it so quickly that you forget some of the important things. You might forget your full stops and your capital letters. You might miss out words. It might not quite make sense. So always you need to go back and make sure you read it through and check it. You can use the list on the previous slide, because that will help you. The things that you should have in your work, you can check those now. And if you need to make any changes, edit it. And that's what all good writers do. It makes sure that your writing is the very best it can be. I love reading. I read all the time when I can, so I'm really looking forward to reading your stories and having a look at them. Please send them to me on the email and I will get back to you. Thank you very much. I look forward to reading them. Bye.